Sup nerds, so in today's video I'm going to be giving you my review on Project Hail Mary. This film has insane reviews on critic score and audience scored. It's being talked about one of the greatest films of the century, one of the greatest films of all time. But now I'm going to give you my thoughts. And honestly, I think this movie's a out of 10. If you haven't seen the movie, that's a joke. You'll understand it when you go see it. But obviously, go see it first. I'm going to be talking about spoilers here, so if you don't want to hear about spoilers, go watch it and then come back here. But seriously, if you do enjoy this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and...
How do you look when you eat?
It look beautiful.
Show me. Oh my god.
Right into the notification bell. And without further ado, let's get into my review of Project Hail Mary. First, because there are not many, I'm going to be giving you my complaints. When I first sat down and started to watch the movie, the beginning was a little slow and it was a little hard to follow. There's like certain elements of it that are fun and like interesting and whatever, and he's trying to remember who he is and everything. Kind of interesting, but not really, especially compared to the rest of the film. I think the only part in the beginning that's actually interesting is once they actually recruit him and he starts to do all the experiments. Those parts were actually pretty fun, especially when he figures out that the organism that they bring him in to find out what it is does actually need water to survive, which is the reason why his peers, his other scientists, look down upon him, and actually the reason they recruit him is because he thought there was a chance that an organism doesn't need water to survive. And then his whole relationship with Carl was actually really good. But then it is a little bit hard to follow. I think some people don't like the kind of switch back and forth between the past and the future. It's not chronological. Honestly, that doesn't really bother me because it's obviously flash forward, flashback, flash forward, flashback. If it was like here and then here and then here and then here, I did watch Pulp Fiction. I apologize, I have to do my video on that. But my thing is like Tarantino goes back and forth and you can kind of still follow it. It's not that complicated to figure out, but like this is like very simple. It's flash forward, flashback. It's not all over the place. But also I think it's a little hard to follow scientifically. It is very complex. I do love science fiction stuff, so I probably had a better time of understanding what was going on compared to a normal audience. Like if you compare it to a movie like The Martian, I think The Martian was pretty easy to understand what was happening. I think this is a little bit more complex than that. But the reason the movie is so good is not that hard to follow. I'll get to that in a little bit. But another kind of major, kind of minor complaint, I don't know how I feel about it, is that Grace didn't decide to go on the mission. He was forced. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the book said that he went because of the kids in his classroom. He wanted to save them, and that was like his whole motivation. There's also like a whole genetic side plot, which is the reason why he survived the coma or whatever. And they don't get to it in this movie. I know it's probably in the book. I don't know, honestly. So if you want to go research that, go look that up. But honestly, just for this movie, I don't think it's that big of a deal. But it definitely is an interesting twist. I just don't know if I love it. This is a slight complaint, but I do wish that Grace found an organism, because they found 3 throughout the film. One of them didn't need water to survive. I just think that would have been so heartwarming, and I think Ryan Gosling could have had an amazing reaction to that, and it would have been an amazing character moment for Grace. But also, it's not that big of a deal. But now let's go to parts of the movie that me. Rocky looks incredible, and I've heard a lot of people who read the book love the design of him, and the author of the book said he's not that good with visualization, so when they showed him Rocky, he was like, yeah, that's awesome. And all the details on Rocky are really cool. The way he says goodbye to Grace incorporated into his arm, and then like kind of like the tattoos on his arm showing like where he comes from and like what his like journey was is really cool on this side of the arm. And then there's like bits and pieces of like aquamarine like rocks in him. It's really cool. Also, him making the Xenonite like sculptures and models and all that was also really cool. Obviously, the comedy was really funny. At the heart of this movie, the cinematography is great. The storyline's really good. But the main part of the movie is the comedy and the bromance. The bromance between Grace and Rocky is so good. And those are the 2 characters. Those are the 2 main characters of the film. And it's just them interacting the whole time. And that is what's amazing. That's why Ryan Gosling is such a good actor. It made me feel something for his character, but also a Rock, which is amazing. That's so cool when a studio, a movie can do that to you. A moment I do want to point out is the moment where Rocky goes, I lived for a long time. Let me give you some of my astrophage. I'll get home 6 years later. To see his love that he's been with for over 100 years, he said, I'll wait 6 more years so you can get home and make it home alive. that moment was so good. The first meeting between Rocky and Grace is so funny, and it just works so well. He gets so scared of him, and he doesn't understand him. He goes back and he doesn't understand him, and then the Xeno Knight makes it like clear, because there's like all these different like parts of the Xeno Knight that are like different transparencies, and he can only see through the little one, and he sees like his hand or whatever. That's so good. And then the moment where I hinted to originally in the beginning of this video, the thumbs down going to a thumbs up, he can't do it because his hands are upside down, is so funny. And I think one of the most interesting parts of this film is the way they communicate. It's just so fun, because Rocky can't like see like perception that well. Like he can't like see what's happening. And it's like he literally he showed him the clock, and it's just like a circle to him. But once he added the stuff onto the numbers, he could see the numbers, and he's like, oh, that's your clock, let me show you my clock. And it's like different things with different numbers. And it's just like the way they communicate, and then it gives them a voice, and they're talking back and forth. It's just so amazing. It's really great. Speaking of really great, that fishing scene is so incredible. I think it had everybody like locked in, like, are they gonna do this? Is he gonna fall off? Is this gonna happen? Oh, it was so good. And if you compare it to a movie like Interstellar, it's not as good as that. But like certain moments echo that, and it's so fun. And I love Interstellar. Interstellar is one of my favorite movies of all time. Probably top 4, top 2, honestly. The way Rocky cares for him, and then him saving him is so amazing. He literally breaks out a thing and is like literally like leaking like whatever, and he's like coughing up black whatever. I don't know exactly what everything was, but it just was so sad watching him like save him, and it was just like, oh my gosh. It's like they kind of just met each other, but they get along so well, and he literally almost sacrifices himself for Grace, and then Grace is waiting there by his side. It's amazing. And man, that ending was so good. Another kind of complaint is the movie trying to like kind of ends multiple times. But I do love that he kind of had a spot on Everet. It's just so amazing, because I think Earth would kind of like look at him kind of weird, and he got like taken there against his will and everything, and it's not like he's like this brave whatever. They look kind of down on him, even though he saved them. I think he would be much better on Everet, and he can now understand Rocky and all of the other Eredians. I forget what their species is called. Anyways, and then he gets to be a teacher to a bunch of small rocks. It's awesome. Small thing, but I do love, there's just certain moments where he's like, why is it messy? Why are you stupid? Why? It's just so funny. And he's like, I didn't expect company. I don't know. And then another moment where he's talking about how he has an ex, and then they met somebody named Mark, and now they're with Mark, and Rocky goes, Rocky hate Mark. Dude, I love that. That's so good. Especially because Mark was a producer that Ryan Gosling worked with for a long time, and he was on set, and they were trying to make him laugh, and that moment was just so great. Now we're going to be covering the score and the soundtrack of the movie. All of the original music is actually really good, especially the song when they're going fishing on Tau Ceti is actually amazing. It actually reminded me a lot of the docking scene from Interstellar. Most of the needle drop songs, the songs that weren't made for the movie, were actually pretty okay, but I think Sign of the Times was the highlight. Everything else was kind of hit or miss. I just think that karaoke scene is just really strong. The relationship between Grace and Eva Strat is just, it's great. But now let's talk about the cinematography, because I think it's the best part of the movie. The astrophage looks incredible. Just like the black dots are cool, but as soon as it lights up pink, they look insanely good. Especially that scene where they're at Adrian when they're on the planet and then everything lights up pink. It is one of the most visually stunning shots in any movie I've ever seen. It's so good. This movie is definitely made for IMAX, and definitely made for the theater. Tau Ceti E, also known as Adrian, they name it, is absolutely beautiful. And so is Everet, Rocky's planet. They get that wide shot. It looks so good. There's certain transitions and jump cuts that actually look really good in this movie. There's a moment where Grace is on the ship in zero gravity, and the camera's turned sideways, and then it jumps cuts to Grace on Earth, and the frame is sideways and then it turns back, and it just looks incredible. There's a few other moments like that, but that specifically just was like, whoa, that looks sick. Just to look at the elements of the film look incredible. Again, I already mentioned astrophage. It looks absolutely awesome. Just the dark black of it when it's used on the ship's power, that looks really cool. But then when it lights up pink, the whole movie just looks incredibly good. Especially when they're looking at the Petrova line when it's going to planets, it looks so good. But also the Xenonite, everything that Rocky makes looks incredible. Just the glass panes look sick. The little capsule that he sends them that shows them where he's from and where Grace is from, just them going back and forth between that was really cool. But also, yeah, just the capsule looked really sick. The way they explain that xenon is a gas, but on his planet, it is made into a solid. That's actually really cool. All the little sculptures that he makes, the little action figure he makes of Grace is really cool. But yeah, like the way he makes the ball and way the screen between them is this big thing of xenonite, but it's different transparencies and he can only see through the one, and then when he comes back, the whole screen is now that transparency. That's really sick. But then especially Rocky's ship looks so good. It reminds me of the Tesseract from Interstellar. The ship just moves really cool, and it looks sick. When Grace gets to visit Rocky's ship, it looks so good, and that's especially reminds me of the bookshelf scene from Interstellar. This movie is just so good. It's an emotional movie. It's a lot more about their bromance, their relationship, Rocky and Grace, rather than the whole space thing. Yes, that's what it's about, but it's more about them. And to make my point, I'm gonna compare it to a movie that I know a lot of people don't like, but The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a movie not about Electro and Spider-Man. It's about Peter Parker and Gwen Stacy. It's about their relationship. It's the whole movie. Same way as this movie is Grace and Rocky. It's just all about that. Yes, I think some of the space stuff gets a little complex. I think it gets lost in the moments a few times. But I think overall, their relationship, their moments are just so good that it just doesn't matter. But if you're contemplating going to see this movie, go see it in theaters. Honestly, you're doing yourself a disservice if you watch it at home, or if you don't watch it at all, honestly. But, this is definitely worth going to see in IMAX, especially. It is one of the best shot movies I have ever seen. I haven't seen that many movies, but this movie looks insanely good. And come on, it's Ryan Gosling. But that's my review of Project Hail Mary. So if you did enjoy, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and
Fist my bomb. No, it's not the same.
Right into the notification bell. And as always, make sure to have a fantastic day. And if you can have a fantastic day today, have a fantastic day tomorrow. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later, nerds!